I said, look, it's preseason. The first games are out. So we need to bone up preseason-wise. I asked Todd for a little assignment here to give me, in his opinion, the 5 greatest football movies.
Ooh, I like this.
So when Cuz reaches out to me, he texts me and he says, "Give me your top 10 football movies in order." And I wrote back, I'm like, "Dude, 10?" He goes, "Okay, 5." And then I sat down with a piece of paper, and off my head, within 5 minutes, I came up with 14.
See, right away, I know I'm excess. I do too much. I write too long. I do too much. But look, you got 14.
I got 14, and it's very hard for me to rank them. But I'll give you what this is just me, Todd. My top 5. I feel pretty good about my top 5 for me and how I grew up and what I love, that sort of thing. So,
all right, we'll start at 14 and then get to the 5.
Well, the 14. I have a lot of honorable mentions, so I have a top 5, and then do you want me to read all the titles?
Except for the top 5.
Okay, here's all the titles other than my top 5. We got Remember the Titans.
That's not your top 5?
No, it's not in my top 5.
We're gonna blitz all night.
I love it.
It's maybe like number 6, but it's not in my top 5.
All right.
Invincible, obviously. The Water Boy. Come on, you got to give it up for the Water Boy.
I love the Water Boy, so I love Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher, Henry Winkler, Kathy Bates.
Brett Musburger.
That's right. Varsity Blues.
Great movie.
Here's one for you, cuz. Heaven Can Wait.
Oh, Warren Beatty?
Yeah. He's the Rams quarterback.
Yeah.
1978, Warren Beatty, remade by Chris Rock, not nearly as good. Friday Night Lights, the movie. Billy Bob Thornton. Rudy, you have to have Rudy on the list, although it's not one of my favorites. It's on the list.
I don't mind it. I'll go Hulk every once in a while.
You're a Notre Dame sympathizer.
I am.
Yeah.
We Are Marshall.
Irish.
Yes, good movie. And Jerry Maguire, you got to put on the list.
Oh man, I got one. I got 4 so far. He hasn't named one of my 4. I'm curious.
Now, I'm already thinking about his 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you have The Program is in it, right? One of your top 5?
Nope.
No.
No, in fact, it's funny. I forgot about that one until you just mentioned it. That would make my list 15.
Okay. I'll say that in your top 5 is All the Right Moves.
That's on my list.
Nope. Not in my top 5.
Wow.
That's good. That's good. You
All
two
the
just
Right
came up
Moves
with.
is a great. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, you just
Okay.
came up, but you just can't. I mean, again, off the top of my head, I can't believe that puts it at 16. We probably can do 20, but no, that's not in my top 5.
Okay.
Wow.
What was the character's name?
Tom Cruise character?
Yeah, he was like Banashek. It was like something like that.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was the best. Oh man, I'm gonna go watch that. I'm gonna show it to the boys.
It's funny. I remember all the football movies from the 70s. Like what didn't even make my list is. Do you remember a film, called Black Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a
About the
terrorism.
blip?
Yeah, the terrorism. They were going after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a great movie.
I read the
great
book
movie.
when I was a kid. I had to be, 10 years old, and I read the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I got 3. I have 3 movies from the 70s, not surprising, in my top 5.
Wow.
From the 70s, yeah.
All right. Brian's song.
Brian's song is on my list. It's number 5 on my list.
I mean, that's a great.
Yeah, I don't really search for that emotion, but yeah.
No, that's a beautiful.
Well, let me tell you why it's in my top 5. Number 1, it was one of the first ABC movies of the week, because if you remember that, it was an ABC movie of the week. It portrays the first real interracial roommate situation in the NFL. They were the first 2, Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo from the Chicago Bears, were the first 2 interracial black and white players to live together on the road. And the story is obviously a true story of Billy D. Williams plays Gale Sayers, and James Caan, Jimmy Caan, plays Brian Piccolo, and Brian Piccolo died of cancer when he was in his mid-20s. It's it pulls at your heartstrings, but it was a big movie. It was a big movie in 1971.
Yeah, great. Yeah. All right.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds
All right,
really good.
what else you got?
So that was number 5. Number 4 is the original The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, I was
That's
gonna
in
say
my
that.
list.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, Adam Sandler tried to remake it, didn't work, but JP, it's about this former NFL player who's basically jailed for shaving points and stealing his girlfriend's car, and he goes to prison and he organizes a prisoners versus guards football game. And the 1970s version of this is way better than the remake.
Is it Burt Reynolds? Burt Russell?
Yeah,
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
I know he was Adam Sandler was in 03, the quarterback.
Correct. But the original's grittier. It's 70s. It's real. It feels raw and real.
Yeah. That's why I like those 70s movies. They feel more real.
Yep.
Well, you know, it's interesting.
70s are great.
Yeah, it's so hard to remake something that's there. And you try to modernize it and you're trying for a new audience to recapture it. It's just hard when you compare it to the original.
It is. It's hard. It's almost impossible. But
Was there any remakes that were better than the original?
In film? You know, I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Wasn't the
film.
modern
TV,
Psycho better than the original one?
Which one?
Psycho?
No, that was just
No.
you know
Original.
what that was, JP. That
What's
was
that?
actually a shot-for-shot remake of the original Hitchcock film.
Oh.
All they did was take the script and the shooting list, and they did it shot for shot. So it was just an absolute copy. Yeah, but
really is
on TV. Listen, in TV, people will always challenge me. I hold that the British version of The Office beats the American version of The Office, and I get challenged on that all the time.
Right. All right, number 3.
Number 3, I'm going with The Blind Side. Probably on many of your lists. What? Why the reaction? That was a very moving movie.
It's so corny.
Sandra Bullock.
So corny.
Bullock.
Oh, yeah, you don't like the Bullocks.
I'm out.
It's like a bad Disney football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also what made it worse was I think the mom in real life actually was like stealing money from Michael Orr.
Well,
No, I don't know about that.
No, that's an allegation that has come out
Okay.
that's being litigated right now. I don't honestly.
I don't think
I don't
that's.
find it.
I just remember Michael Orr. put
Yeah.
out a
Yeah,
tweet.
yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah,
happened.
cousin and I have talked about this. I work with one of the producers on The Blind Side, and I've talked like I don't believe that any of it is going to hold up. But I think the movie was so well done, broad audience, great story. I don't know, I dig it.
No, now we have the disclaimer that he works with a producer of the film. We understand why it's in his top five.
He's always true blue.
I
TV
liked it.
time.
I liked it before then, and I showed it to my daughter a couple years ago, and she really liked it. So I know it's. But listen, if you don't like, you can't. Maybe I hope Invincible's not on your list, because if you don't like Blindside, you can't love Invincible.
No, Invincible's not in my top 50
No,
football films.
I would. I would put the Titans over any of the like that. Titans make my top 5. You know, and maybe even All the Right Moves would make my top 5.
What about Any Given Sunday?
Go ahead, let's see.
You're JP. You're right on where I am. So my top 2 are sort of related in terms of theme, and you see a little insight to me as to why I like these top 2 the best. Number 2 is North Dallas 40, a film from 1979, where Nick
That's
Nolte.
a great movie.
That's on my list.
That's a great movie.
All right, let me cross it off.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it come? Didn't it come from a book? Like the first kind of tell-all insider book?
Yes, and that's exactly why I love it, because I love behind the scenes of business, of the real life kind of inner workings of corporate, and that movie, Nick Nolte plays a wide receiver, amazing, who was injured. He gets addicted to painkillers. It's about drugs and corporate greed of the NFL and the off-field debauchery. I love North Dallas 40. But related to that is my number one pick that JP talked about, Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday. And I love it. There's things about it that drive me nuts, like the fact that they couldn't use real NFL brands and logos. That I struggle with that. But I love the fact of Al Pacino playing the aging coach and Cameron Diaz, the owner, trying to get him out. And again, behind the scenes of the business of the NFL, that's what I love. So number 1 and 2 are related for me.
Yeah, excellent. Todd, I love, you're right. They were both big movies, big director, taking a look at, behind the scenes of the NFL. And you're right. It would be an epic film if you could have used the Dolphins and not the Sharks, right?
Yeah.
Like it would have worked. But no, you're spot on. And Pacino, I mean, he's always hamming it up, but he actually was good as the aging coach.
Yeah, you could look at each of those characters and say they were hamming it up, to be honest. It gets a little cheesy at times. But the whole film as a whole, beginning to end, it works. It's intriguing. It does give you insight into what's a priority for owners versus what's the priority for a coach, what's the priority for, a quarterback. So I don't know. I love it, but North Dallas 40 is one that's often overlooked, and I absolutely love that film.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad you put that on there. And Nolte was awesome. Like he plays the aging quarterback, like he's like great, beat up, the veteran.
He's got that voice, it's like gravel.
Yeah, he does smoking like back then. It was NFL, like it was football. And you're right. That's a great call by you. Now, the only one I would change would be Titans. I would put Titans for Blindside. I mean, Denzel was amazing in that movie.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Was it the Gettysburg? Did he do like a Gettysburg monologue in there?
Yes. Yep. Because he took the kids away for camp.
Right. Right.
He brings them away for camp. And he winds up, and it was great because that whole thing, and just the way the rhythm of the film was perfect. It hit all the right notes, and it was done so well.
Yeah.
And by the way, can I just add something here? I've been on your show for a while now, but I didn't really feel like I arrived until this moment right now, where Big Farts Jones is criticizing me in the chat room.
Fartsy. Welcome to the family.
We love Fartsy.
When Big Farts Jones is on your ass, that means you're a member of the family. And by the way, speaking of the family, don't forget, become a diehard, everybody. We want to thank you for hanging out with us and become a diehard. Hang with us every day. Here at All PHLY, we do all kinds of great content, so we hope you love it. All right, Todd.
Let's give Fartsy his props, though. He said Blindside was a pile of garbage. Come on, Todd.
So what do you got for us today? This weekend.
Well, I'm excited for this weekend because one of my favorite shows is back. It's a show because I've talked about this. It's called Industry, and it is the best show on television, bar none right now. It is out of the UK, and it's a behind the scenes look at what's loosely based on our Bear Stearns or our JP Morgan and Chase banking investment bank industry. There's a fictional company called Pierpoint and Company out in the UK. Amazing series going into its 3rd season. And it stars Marisa Abela, who played Amy Winehouse in the Back to Black movie. But and Ken Lung from Lost. I mean, I'm warning your audience, not for kids. It's very adult, very gritty, but it is like the best show on television, hands down right now. And it starts 3rd season on Sunday.
Really? Does it have a bit of Succession vibe to it?
Very much so. Very, very much so. If you want like an inside peek into that world, as gritty as it is and dark as it is, this show delivers every episode.
What platform, Todd?
Industry is on Max, I believe.
Got it.
Yep. So it was originally I think it's an HBO series, but it's now streams on Max, and I'm telling you, man, you will be hooked from the pilot you will not be able to stop watching this show.
Okay, I'm in.
Hey, by the way, last weekend we did an 8 Fest. Fabulous.
Did you like the new one?
Loved it.
Me too.
Loved it.
Me too. Epic adventure. It felt like an epic adventure.
8 rule. Love the primates.
Hey, Cuz, what did you think of the movie I recommended that you and Tam watch on Saturday night, Love Lies Bleeding?
Okay, so we didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it. Tam read the description of it and was like, no, I'm not. I love Todd. I'm not watching it.
I love Tam's voice.
She's like, no. I was going to, and I wanted to watch it. She's like, Todd will tell you to watch anything. You'll watch it. And I go, she's like, Todd and your cousin, whatever they say, you watch. I go, yeah, I they got good taste. Hotel cocaine. I said he didn't even see it before he recommended it.
Look, fair enough. I've taken the hotel cocaine hits, right? But first of all, and VG, I hooked VG up last week with the best film that's playing in theaters right now.
Best film I've seen in years.
You don't have to defend. I believe in your genius recommendations. I follow you.
Taking shots from Fartsy, from Tam.
Oh, man.
But no, I'm going to stand. Listen, I can't stand by Hotel Cocaine, but I'm going to stand by Love Lies Bleeding. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
On the Blind Side Hill, I was going to say, don't do it. Don't do it.
VG, I want you to watch this film, and then we could talk about it next week. It is Ed Harris's comeback movie.
I love Ed Harris too.
If this were a Tarantino film, everyone would be going insane about it. And by the way, the critics have loved it. It's like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's an amazing movie. It takes you in a bunch of directions you're not going to expect. Kristen Stewart, Dave Franco, and let me tell you something. Ed Harris in one of his best roles in years.
So I have it. Ed Harris. I'm intertwined with him.
How so?
So, do you remember when he made it's a shame. It was a really good movie, but it kind of went sideways, a little cartoonish. But Viggo Mortensen and Ed Harris, Viggo Mortensen basically is like a small town. He had a past. He was like in the mob, right? And he was living in some small town. And then he comes to prominence. And so he was like wanted. So these gangsters show up in this small town. Do you remember the film?
I don't remember the name, but I totally remember the film. It was a festival darling. I remember Viggo was getting a lot of praise for it.
Right. So so they were supposed to be Philadelphia gangsters. So I get a call, I don't know, I knew from his agent. And they're like, listen, can you speak into a tape recorder and send us stuff because Ed wants to hear your accent. He wants to mimic your accent. He wants to learn the Philadelphia accent. And they had heard me on the radio. I was doing something on Fox and I'm on in LA and I had said it was Philadelphia and they're like, oh, we like his accent. So Ed Harris. So I sent tapes to Ed Harris, recordings to Ed Harris, so he can listen to the accent.
That's amazing. That's a great story. Now we all need to go back and watch that. What was the name of that?
I forget. I forget. I don't know. It was a good movie. I actually liked the movie. It was a little cartoonish at the end with the gangsters and the whole thing, but it was a great. The first half of it was awesome.
Somebody in the chat just said a history of violence.
That's it.
Oh, Rick Sachs.
That's it. That's why the chat rules.
Oh, David Cronenberg. All right.
That's the chat rules. Who said that? I want to give him love.
Rick Sachs. He's on today.
Rick Sachs had it, and Flyers in 7 had the David Cronenberg.
Nice.
That's good. That's good. That's a great. I need to go back and watch that, knowing that backstory right now. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Dude, how you got no love for the underdog story of Molly McGrath? Goldie Hawn as the high school football coach in Wildcats?
Wildcats?
Yeah, come on, man.
No. No, I can't believe you're praising that one, but you're like against a Disney-like
far more
film.
entertaining. How about Best of Times? Kurt Russell, Robin Williams.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
You see
That's a
that?
good one. What else?
They're like they had a high school game where I think Robin Williams may have dropped the catch.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, that was real good. Isn't there another one with Kurt Russell?
I feel like he's been in
He's
multiple
been a couple
football
movies. What about The Replacements? Did you like The Replacements?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one. I forgot about that one, too. My God, I mean, we probably could do a list of 30 at this point.
Oh, yeah. Well, the football ones. I mean, there's the kiddie ones, like the Little Giants I used to watch with Massimo. Like,
I like that.
That was in the
I like that.
That was in the rotation.
Icebox.
Yeah, Icebox. Yeah,
Icebox.
yeah.
What about the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon?
No, the Tony Danza's a mule. The mule.
I remember
That was great.
I remember vividly picking that movie out in Blockbuster when I was a kid and watching it.
Tony Danza.
That's a classic. I swear, I actually think I may have seen that in the theaters back in the day.
No, I mean that's why you're TV Todd.
So you
1998.
You always dive into it, man.
He killed it with Kneecap. Kneecap was the best film I've seen in a couple years.
Yeah, you
I
said
highly
it
recommend anyone see
had
it.
Train Spotting vibes.
Yes, totally. Love
That's a great comparison, VG. I felt that vibe when I was sitting in the theater watching that. I was like, man, this is giving me old school independent film vibes, and I love it. I love it.
I've been like dying. We've been talking and missing those kinds of films forever, and it was right back to like late '90s, maybe that old indie vibe. Yep.
Yeah, right around 2000,
Absolutely.
late 90s, 2000, there were some great movies.
Yeah.
Like that 10-year period, 15-year period of the indie kind of explosion. Like there was I used to love this video store on South Street, right off the
It's
South
right around
Street.
the corner from me, TLA.
TLA, baby.
Best.
TLA.
I mean, I was there 3 times a week at TLA. It was the greatest. They had the best independent films.
Yep,
Man,
I can
I
vouch
love
for
it.
that. I used to go there as well. VG, I want you to watch Love Lies Bleeding, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I'll check it out this week.
I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it myself.
We all silly like the mayor.